Why ever would they put this on the cover? I mean, I get that he's an iconic villain, but it kind of spoils the end of the book, unfortunately. It should have been a surprise. Also, he only shows up for a couple of seconds, so I don't really get why they felt the need to put him on the cover with Spider-Man as though he's like the main plot. I was really excited about this, in fact, because I really like Norman Osborn as a villain, but we don't actually get any of that in this issue, unfortunately. But we do see the return of Norman Osborn from that alternate universe where he's like an anti-hero from Spider-Verse. And I honestly kind of forgot about that plot thread until I read this. But it's good. So we cut to Otto Octavius receiving the key to San Francisco outside the city hall. And basically the mayor is rewarding him for having saved the city so many times in the past 8 issues. Oh, by the way, this is issue 9 of Superior Spider-Man Volume 2, or issue 42 for longtime readers like me. But basically, in light of recent events, he's being hailed as a hero, as San Francisco's champion, because he saved he saved the world from Terrax the Tamer and Pandemonium, and of course the Frost Giants during the War of the Realms tie-in. And the War of the Realms tie-in had a couple of good moments, but ultimately it was just a needless tie-in that didn't really do anything for the story overall. But the art was good. But basically it was just due to editorial mandate that it even existed. So Spider-Man bounces, and he goes back to Horizon University, where he works in San Francisco under the alias of Dr. Elliot Tolliver, which is a clone body he created from his DNA and Peter Parker's. And basically, Horizon University was started and founded by Peter Parker when he was founder of, or rather when he was owner of Parker Industries. And even though Parker Industries went down, for some reason the university was able to function without the sort of umbrella that is Parker Industries. But basically he's saying, he's talking to Anna Maria Marconi, his love, and she's sort of like laying into him for acting like he had something to do, when really he just sort of ditched the key to the city thing to ditch it because he wasn't interested. And we get a little discussion with Emma, who is somebody he meets in a previous issue, and they go on a date, and Otto reveals his identity to her on the first date because Anna told him to be upfront. And she ended up getting possessed by a demon, and he had to enlist the help of Doctor Strange to help him in his task. This is really cool looking. The Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal versions of the characters there. But yeah, so basically he has a bit of a breakdown, or he has a bit of a freak out at Emma, who's sort of trying to ask him out on a retrial date since their last date was interrupted by demon and so forth. So Christos Gage, I guess, has like a really weird knowledge of obscure Marvel history because he brings back like a one-time character called Turner D. History. And he's basically like this moron who rides around on a bike, and he's like, you people these days with your smartphones and your laptops and your thingamajigs, none of you appreciate anything anymore. And basically Otto just rips into him. He tears apart his entire facade and identity. Like here, for example. So basically, Otto just roasts the crap out of him and beats him up. And we get a little peek from Peter Parker, who shows up to confront Otto Octavius and sort of, help him out a little bit. Because Anna Maria Marconi, who is basically Peter Parker's second hand, or right hand gal during the Parker Industries years, She calls him because she's worried about Otto Octavius and they might have like a meltdown or whatever. So Peter comes all the way over to San Francisco, with what money, I don't know, to help out Doc Ock and sort of try to talk to him. And Otto does this thing where he always deflects the conversation and tries to just sort of rip others down so that he doesn't have to like confront his own insecurities. And basically he's like, someone of your power and intellect should own a home by now. Several. Good heavens, man. You could have a Nobel Prize if you weren't such a navel-gazing child leaping around like a clown for the approval of complete strangers. And but basically, eventually, Peter gets him to open up a little bit, and he admits that what's been bothering him is that he, despite saving every citizen of San Francisco from the frost giants, he wasn't able to save everyone. He wasn't able to save, every single person in the War of Realms, and there were thousands, evidently casualties in the U.S. And he feels responsible for that. He feels like he should have been able to do better. He should have been able to overcome that. And Peter Parker's like, yeah, man, that's just part of being a hero. You never had that problem before because you weren't a good person before. But now that you're actually becoming a hero, this is just par for the course. You can't save everybody, and you can't beat yourself up about not being able to save everybody. And so basically, he sort of, breaks down crying. And I think this is a really good moment for the character. And it shows like his sort of evolution from being just sort of like a bit of a jerk, and by a bit of a jerk I mean like one of the worst people on the planet, to being something resembling a hero. And so Emma comes up and talks to him, and he confides in her. He begins to realize slowly over the course of these last two story arcs with Doctor Strange and with the Young Avengers that everybody needs help, even Otto Octavius. And so they go on their other date, their retrial date, and he ends up opening up to her, and they connect quite a bit. And so they ultimately end up kissing. And we see on the wall there is a spider who's part of Spider's Man. And Spider's Man is an alternate version of Spider-Man. It's a series of spiders who think they're Peter Parker, and they're essentially part of this hive mind governed by a consciousness known as Spider's Man. And they were basically kicked out of the Spider team, he and Norman Osborn, the Tarantula or whatever he's called in his universe, and for being just like bad people who wanted to kill everybody. So evidently, for some reason, they plan on getting their revenge on Otto Octavius in the next issue. I think this is a great cover, by the way. I love this. And I'm really excited to see the return of this character, because I kind of forgot about him, but now that I remember like that he's a plot thread, I'm really excited to see him return. Because I really like Norman Osborn. I'm excited to see another take on that character. And of course, what better battle can we have than between two, ex-Spider-Man villains with genius-level intellects and spider powers? It's going to be a lot of fun, and I recommend you pick this up. This is a good read, written by Christos Gage. I'll talk to you guys later.